In this video, I'm going to tell you about Saturn influence on relationships. Okay, so if you want to take personal reading, you can check the website or email me or WhatsApp me. So if you have any doubt, you can check all the links in the description box or in the comment section. Okay, so let's restart. So Saturn, as we know, is a karmic planet and it holds heavy dose of karma. We are talking about Saturn's influence on relationships, how Saturn impacts the relationships. So, this is our topic. It's not about Saturn influence on any other house, but on relationships in general. And I will also share my experience of looking at the charts. So, basically, whenever Saturn is connected with your seventh house, it shows that there is a karma and there is a learning, because Saturn is all about learning. It is not that Saturn will not give you good result, it is not that Saturn will not give you stable marriage. No, it is that there is lesson, there is karma, and there is learning. Saturn basically wants to teach you to value the things. And if Saturn is giving you a problem in your relationships, it clearly shows you have not valued relationships in the past life, or your karmas regarding relationships are not good. That's why you're facing problem in that area of life. That is the main reason. Somewhere you have created some karmic debt in the past life, and now you need to learn. And this is more accurate with Saturn retrograde, because when it is retrograde, it shows that the things that happened in the past will be repeated again, the same type of situations, and then this time you will get the chance to decide again what you need to do. With Saturn retrograde, it's actually good, because retrograde Saturn means second chance to not repeat the mistakes, because when you were leaving the body in the past, you were actually realizing your mistakes, that yes, I did mistake. You were actually realizing all the wrongs that you did. So here, because you were realizing from soul, Saturn here gives you second chance to sort out the things. And if this time you make right decisions, you will be rewarded. And I have seen in my life experience that Saturn really clears the karma. Okay, Saturn really is associated with karma, and you cannot escape the things you do. Yes, many people get the result late, many people get the results early, but whatever they do, they get it. So even if it is not retrograde, it is connected to your seventh house. It is associated with some delay, obstructions, detachment, karma, because that is the trait of Saturn. It is the house where you need to learn discipline, and Saturn creates delay. Saturn is the slowest moving planet. We know Saturn creates delay. It is the task of Saturn to create delay, and it will do it anyway, because that is what Saturn, its task is to do that delay. And why Saturn delays, why Saturn has to delay, because you are not prepared, and unless and until you are prepared, you cannot get it. It's because you have not learned your lessons, it's because you have pending karmas, so that's why it creates delay. So now let's say that if Saturn does not delay, as Saturn is connected with the seventh house but it does not delay, and it gives you the relationship at 21, 22, when you are very much immature about relationships, you don't know how to handle, you want relationships but you are very much immature about relationships, but Saturn now gives you relationship at 21, you will not be able to handle it, and eventually it will end. Eventually it will become toxic. Why relationships become toxic? Because that is the reason. because lack of patience is there, going with the wrong partner is there, and not able to handle the relationship with patience, lots of karma, and that is the reason Saturn delays, because you are not prepared. Basically, Saturn gives the results after 30 or 32 depending upon the chart. Okay, so that is the reason why Saturn delays. In my personal life, if Saturn has delayed the things, I'm grateful that Saturn has delayed, because those delays were very important for my soul growth. So if Saturn delayed something in my life, I'm actually grateful, because that is what was right for me to get the things delayed. Okay, so if it delays, it's actually good for you, because that is what you have done in the past life. But now you have the chance, if you learn your lessons, if you learn whatever lessons Saturn has to teach you, if you start walking on the right path, okay, and in relationships you pay off your karmas, so in next birth Saturn is not going to delay, and everything will be very smooth and very happy going. So it's not always that in every birth Saturn will do it. It is only about one birth. If you learn your lessons, then definitely next birth Saturn is not going to do that, because when you pay off your karma, you don't have to pay it again and again. Okay, it's not like again and again you will get punished. Whatever karma you have, you will be punished according to that only. You will have to suffer only that much. So if you are suffering, then still there are karmas to pay. But always remember that when your karmic debt will end, then automatically you will be released. There will be no need of suffering anymore. So don't worry. You only get the suffering till you have the karmic account. Not more than that. Because when you take loan, you you only have to pay that amount. Yes, you have to pay the interest, but you have to pay the principal amount, right? So that is the thing. And with Saturn retrograde, what it does, that it actually helps you to clear your debts sooner. Okay, just like when you take loan, the payment period is for 10 years, but if you want, then you can clear the loan in 5 years only. Similarly, if you have a karma for 10 years, with Saturn retrograde, what happens is it can help you to clear the karmas in 3 years, 4 years. So that is something which is positive of Saturn retrograde. For example, you have a loan for 10 years and you have a salary of about $1,200, and then your monthly payment including interest is $300, then you can pay $500, $600 if you want to clear your loan sooner. So you can do that. So similarly, you can it's your soul contract when Saturn is retrograde, that you will suffer more sufferings in a short span of time. If you suffer more, you will pay your karmic debt sooner. So it's like a soul contract, that I have a karmic account of 6 years, but I want to clear this karmic account in 2 years only, and it's okay. I am ready to suffer more and more. In these 2 years, you can increase my suffering. It's obvious it will be not more than you can tolerate, but yes, you will choose, you will decide to suffer more, and this is with Saturn retrograde. So this actually happens. So Saturn, what I have noticed is, will only make you suffer till you have karmic account. And if I talk about my personal life, so I also have suffered, but I have only suffered till I have that karmic account. After that, I did not suffer when I paid my karma. After that, there was no need to suffer. So this is a very good thing of Saturn. And Saturn, when is connected with the 7th house in your birth chart, in your Navamsha chart. Okay, here I'm not talking about the connection of Saturn with Venus, because Venus and Saturn can actually delay the things, especially in the women's chart. It delays the marriage to a long time. Okay, so it's connection of Saturn with your seventh lord, seventh house, Tarakarka in birth or Navamsha chart by conjunction or aspect or placement of Saturn in the seventh house, or Saturn ruling the seventh house. Alright, so this is the thing. And now here Saturn can also give you a very devoted partner, very stable partner, very loyal partner. So Saturn can actually do that. It's not that Saturn should rule your seventh house for that. Even with conjunction or aspect, it can do. But what I say is Saturn should not be very closely connected with seventh house. Yes, 10%, 20%, maximum 30% connection of Saturn with seventh house is good. But if it is very much associated with seventh house, then it brings other problems with it, like Saturn sitting in the 10th house aspecting your 7th house with 10th aspect. It is actually acceptable, because now Saturn is will give some positive qualities, will not give the negative qualities to that extent. It can delay the marriage to certain age, but not very much. So it is actually good. So even if Saturn is conjunct with the seventh lord, it should be like away from the seventh lord, like uh, it should be like 6 to 7 degrees apart from your seventh lord. Or even if it is connected with your seventh house, then it should be in a supportive nakshatra and a good nakshatra. So that is actually good. And now Saturn in Libra does not mean that Saturn will start giving you good result. So Saturn exalted does not mean it will give good result. When Saturn is connected to your 7th house, it is better that it is weak or it is retrograde. If it becomes very strong, then it delays the things very much. So even if it's debilitated, it's actually okay if it is connected to 7th house. So this way we need to check. But Saturn in Aquarius is very good. It does not also mean that if it is exalted it's not good. But yes, it delays the thing. Actually, if Saturn becomes strong here, it's not going to be bad, but it actually delays the things. Okay, and Saturn's nakshatra also matters to tell you the quality of your spouse. So what is the characteristics of Saturn? The characteristics of Saturn are delay, hurdles, discipline, routine, restrictions. So these are some of the traits of Saturn which will be applied in your marriage and relationship if it is connected to your 7th house, because you have karma to pay. And the kind of spouse you get is very much structured, discipline oriented, very serious nature, less expressive, detached, hardworking. Okay, and no matter what their age is, very serious type, less romantic, practical nature, discipline oriented, older looking. These are some traits of Saturn. So whenever Saturn is connected with our 7th house, it creates delay, hurdles, obstacles, but you also need to see the position of the 7th lord. If it is strong, you can check the Shatbal, you can check the sign, you can check the Navamsha, where it is placed, how it's placed. If it is strong, then in that case, Saturn here will give you good results after you pay off your karma. And yes, if 7th lord is connected to Upachya house, it will also give you good results. So many things you need to check. Saturn also gives a very devoted and loyal partner. So Saturn connected to 7th house is good. Jupiter and Saturn should always be connected to 7th house to give you loyal or devoted partner, because these two planets have that tendency. With other planets, there are chances that you will have long lasting relationship, but partner may not be that much devoted or loyal. But when Saturn and Jupiter are connected, they can actually give you a loyal partner or devoted partner. Yes, Saturn creates obstructions, but once it gives you a relationship, it gives you a very long lasting and healthy relationship. So you just keep doing your good karmas, good deeds, and don't worry, whoever is meant for you, you will get. Okay, so this only Saturn wants to tell to you, and whenever it is connected with 7th house, there are some karmas to pay for sure. Okay, so thank you. I hope this video was helpful. God bless you.